Episode 259. Stress comes from ignoring things you shouldn't be ignoring.
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
And I welcome you, brothers and sisters, to this Thursday's episode of the very best podcast in the world, your only source in the universe for personal supremacy through health, wealth, and happiness. Now, today we're going to be talking about stress again, because, there is positive stress and there is negative stress. And there are those people who need the stress to function, like myself, and there are those who collapse under it. Plenty of you out there. When I hear a lot of the whiners saying, "Oh, I'm so stressed out," and they're in their 9 to 5, making a decent amount of money, and they got the family set up, they get the house, and they get the car, and that kind of ordeal, and they're so stressed out because they have to take the kids to school in the morning, that kind of ordeal. Those people clearly have not experienced stress, or, their stress tolerance level is at least significantly lower than those of us functioning, highly functioning sociopaths out there, who ravage in the business world and, that kind of ordeal. And if I remember, managing, 3 simultaneous projects on 3 different continents, and spending most of my time just figuring out night flights, so that I could get some sleep and wouldn't be bothered by the phone ringing or emails coming in in piles. That was the life. And even then I was like, yeah, it's okay, I can deal with it. And then you're like, okay, take your kids to school and, go to Starbucks and whine at the waiter how stressed out you are. That's, however, not what this is about. This is about things you shouldn't be ignoring, and you are, and how that creates a negative stress. And we'll get into that right after we do our daily housekeeping. Item number 1 of which is sharing is caring, meaning that, when an episode comes along, and all of them are valuable, because obviously, if they are sold by the wallet rapists, people buy them by the thousands and make them drive their Lambo or their Bentley or, whatever. And this podcast is, truly altruistic. You get the same info, if not better, but for free. So in that sense, please make sure to share each and every episode far and wide into your respective social networks to prevent your friends and family from being wallet raped by those bastards, while they could get the same content here for free, if not even better content, of course, because it is at the end of the day the very best podcast in the world. That being said, item number 2 is that the views herein are my own, yada yada blah, don't reflect any blah 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 blah. And item number 3, we continue to be in remodeling and building and construction mode, so the episodes are a bit shorter, a bit more concise, a bit more down to the point, which I have received feedback is well received. And in that sense, I hope that, we're going to have more time to do more dedicated and longer episodes in the foreseeable future. Now, what are things that you're ignoring right now? We could have made this, tomorrow's episode and made an exercise out of it, but I kind of failed in planning that because I'm planning so many other things right now. However, you should be very reflective about this question. You could be under a certain amount of stress while ignoring things, and the fact that you're ignoring the things you're ignoring stresses you out. And that's, I'm kind of laughing at the stupidity of my own statement here. But at the end of the day, those are the things which are really, really, really grinding away at you, right? You're ignoring things which you should be paying attention to, right? And you're not doing so. You're ignoring the things you're ignoring, and that stresses you out. Okay, there, we got the point. Now, what are those things? For instance, it's workload. These might be minuscule tasks, right? That should be done in maybe an hour or two. But since they're, biting at your brainstem constantly, imagine Stevie, our guard poodle, biting into your, into your, into your brainstem. And, these are the tasks that have been laying around. Let me give you an example, right? We built a new barn the other day, and I had to put on the screws into the roof. I'd only done one or two screws just to hold them down, but they weren't prepared for the autumn storms that are just around the corner. And just the other day, I was like, God damn it, and I was procrastinating these things away deliberately in parts, but they had good reasons. The reasons are really the worst, right? So the roof we put on was like this dark gray. So immediately when the sun was shining, this thing would just heat up to unbelievable hellish temperatures, and it was impossible going up there putting in the screws when the roofing had a temperature of 50, 60 degrees Celsius, which you would get within a matter of an hour, right? And then if it was raining, which it does here quite frequently, you couldn't go on there because it's too slippery. So you would immediately fall down. So it was this clusterfuck situation. So I was putting this thing off and off and off and on, and the thing is, now autumn is coming closer. I noticed, the foliage is coming down, and the leaves are, not sticking to the trees anymore. And I'm, so I immediately went and said, look, okay, fuck this. Here's the screws, here's the power drill. Let's get up there. Let's get it done. However, until that point, it was like, God damn it. I couldn't motivate myself, because you had to find just the right moment to go up there. Couldn't be raining, sun couldn't be shining. So, it was this day of cloudiness that was there with nothing else to do. And it was on this day, that I finally went up there, finally put the screws in, and then it was just this big thing of relief. However, looking back and being aware about it, it was this thing that I knew I had to get it done, because if I didn't before the storms came, that thing, that roof would have gone off, and it would have been a shitload of money that just would have, been to shits, because, I couldn't be bothered to get up there or find that right moment. However, that right moment had to be not occupied with anything else, of the other billion things that you're probably busy with. And, it was this kind of situation where you have to kick yourself in the nads and say, okay, look, now's the time. All the other stuff I have on my platter, that's got to wait. I have to get up there and have to get that done. Now, this example was rather stupid, but it was something, real life and minuscule. That was the thing that I was mentioning. The problem is that, one of these things is okay, right? But if you've got tons of them piling up, that's going to give you this major stress out, this, eventual burnout, because you're facing so much shit. And immediately, this puts you in the situation rather, where you get into this stage of paralysis, because your workload is so high, so much has piled up that, there's nothing left to do. Right. And I think all of us have gone through that situation, that, the workload is just so high that you're like, God damn it, I'm never going to get this done. Right. And then you freeze. A lot of us do. And it took me really quite a long time in, managing projects, to find a way out of this. And, I'm not going to tell you what it was, because you're going to have to find that out for yourself. Now, what this premature exercise is going to be is to establish a list of the things you shouldn't be ignoring, right? If it's a bill laying around, or, a reminder for a bill, and you can't pay it, call the guys up and say, look, this is a situation. I have empty pockets, you can feel for yourself. Call them up and say, look, payment plan, for instance, because that's just going to make things better. It's going to provide instant relief for that situation. If there is, an unpleasant talk that you need to have with, one of your coworkers or your boss or whatever, that's something which you shouldn't be postponing. That's something which needs to get off your chest just to relieve the stress, right? And those are the kind of things that I'm talking about. And those are the things which I needed to find, I needed to write down, and to schedule them. Really make appointments. If it's this talk with the person that you need to speak with, set an appointment, right? If it's a doctor's appointment, because you've got, an itch or a pain somewhere, which you subconsciously know that it's something not so good, right? Call the doctor, set an appointment. If it's something, like the stuff I was doing, get on the fucking roof, put in the screws, right? And that's where, or, set a date and time when you're going to do that. Weather independent, of course, right? But that's what this episode's message is really about: getting shit done. So in that sense, I hope you have a nice rest of your Thursday. And if you already had your Thursday, leave your hands above the blanket. Have a good night. We'll be in touch tomorrow when we're going to be in Exercise Friday. And we're going to be talking about preparing for the financial crisis. Ooh. So sleep tight, folks. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.